And joining us now, the Saudi ambassador to the UN, Abdullah Al-Mualimi from New York. Ambassador, thank you very much indeed for your time. There's a lot to ask you about, and I want to start, if I can, with Syria. How do you believe Russia has changed the picture as to what Saudi Arabia does now in Syria?
Thank you very much. I have to set the record straight on a couple of points first, if I may. You said in the introduction that the British government gives Saudi Arabia $4 billion worth of weapons. Nobody gives us any weapons. We pay for our weapons with our own money, and this money goes into the British economy and other economies, and they create jobs and they benefit the countries that sell us those weapons.
Understood.
And
secondly, I think we said same,
secondly, you said that we have one of the worst human rights record in the world. And I say, says who? Who is the arbitrator? Who is the judge who issues such verdicts? They are unknown organizations or unknown individuals. So that is also a blatant or a flagrant assertion. Now, back to your question about the situation in Syria, we think that the Russians are committing a grave mistake, that they are taking sides with Hezbollah and Iran and President Assad against the people of Syria, and what is going to be perceived against all Sunnis. And if the Russians have had problems before, these problems are going to be overshadowed by what is going to happen to them, because this is not Afghanistan. Syria is right in the heart of the Arab and Islamic world.
So just to clarify, what will you be doing? Will you send, for example, anti-aircraft missiles now to arm the opposition groups, or can you confirm that you're sending more arms there to help Syrian rebels?
It's not a question of what we're going to do. It's a question of what the Syrian people are going to do. And it's a question about what Muslims are going to do throughout the world regarding Russian interests. As far as support to the Syrian opposition, we have always declared our full support to the Syrian people.
And what is that full support? Is that more weaponry now for the rebels in Syria, or is it more arms?
I'm not in a position to discuss any specific military options with regard to assistance. Suffice it to say that we support the struggle of the Syrian people, and we support the Syrian coalition and the Syrian Free Army.
Okay.
And we help them defend themselves. That's all what they are doing at the moment.
Okay, let's go on to what you called the blatant assertion. I want to look at Saudi actions in Yemen. You stand accused of war crimes there by Oxfam Amnesty, many of the human rights organisations. Presumably, you would like to clear your country's name of those accusations.
That's another flagrant accusation. The gentleman who said that most of the civilian casualties